Hello and a very warm welcome to this special. Today we are talking about Royal Challengers Bangalore versus Rajasthan Royals. The match being played at the MCA Stadium in Pune in the evening at 7:30. Nikhil Narayan's here with me. We'll take a look at their likely playing 11. We'll talk about what we can expect from this game. We'll also tell you what our fantasy 11 will be. But before that, these two teams and how good they've been in the tournament. Rajasthan Royals and Royal Challengers Bangalore, both teams, surprising everybody because in the tournament we've seen these teams in the past. They've done well, but they don't have that early advantage which they seem to have got this time in this season, Nikhil. We've seen them, even with Royal Challengers Bangalore, whenever they've done well, it's towards the end of the season. They are scrambling to get into the top four, but right now both these teams have started well overall.
Absolutely. Rajasthan has been, phenomenal, and it's due to the presence of a few great individuals who are performing, exceedingly well. Joss Buttler, Joss Buttler is the main reason why RR's batting is where it is in this tournament. And then the bowling lineup. We've discussed this on innumerable occasions. That bowling lineup of Yuzvendra Chahal, R. Ashwin, Prasidh Krishna, and Trent Bolt. It's a world-class bowling unit. And then on the other hand, RCB is a very interesting, case this year. A lot of credit has to be given to the new captain because although he himself hasn't, he scored some runs, but he hasn't been the same Faf du Plessis of last two editions when he excelled for CSK, scoring at a very high strike rate. He's been a little subdued this season. Virat Kohli has failed this season. Glenn Maxwell hasn't. So if two out of their big three haven't done anything at all, and yet they are where they are in the... It's, again, a lot to do with the bowlers and Dinesh Karthik. And Shahbaz Ahmed, who we can't remember. Dinesh Karthik, but has been the single most factor for, RCB where they are, along with Vanindu Hasaranga, I would say.
That's right. So, for Royal Challengers Bangalore and Rajasthan Royals, before the tournament started, we talked of their bowling lineup. How wonderful to have, Josh Hazlewood, Mohammad Siraj, Harshal Patel in your side. And for Rajasthan Royals, like Nikhil was saying, there's Prasidh Krishna, there's Trent Bolt, then there is, Yuzvendra Chahal, who's been phenomenal. He's been taking wickets after wickets, and then there is Ravichandran Ashwin. But you look at Rajasthan Royals likely playing 11, and I don't think they'll make any changes because even for Obed McCoy, I think they'll stick with him, given what he did in the match before the last one as well, and also the last match.
Correct.
And then there is Shimron Hetmyer. I also feel this match and these two teams have the best two finishers of the tournament, Shimron Hetmyer and Dinesh Karthik. So who will be the star tonight? That's an interesting question. Then there is Joss Buttler. How excited is the world right now to watch Joss Buttler every time he plays? I mean, to see him, absolutely phenomenal. I feel like he's batting on a different planet. Everybody else seems to be getting the same pitch. He just gets his personal pitch, rolls it out, and then starts batting because he's been exceptional.
300s, 250s in 7 innings, almost 500 runs. We are, just at the halfway stage. Not even halfway stage because Royals will make the playoffs. So they have at least 8 matches more to play. So, we are looking at Joss Buttler maybe reaching 1,000. It is possible. It is possible. Virat Kohli's record of 2016 is under threat. At the same position, at the same time, in 2016, after 7 matches, Virat Kohli was 40 to 50 runs short of Joss Buttler. So Joss Buttler is on his way, and his modus operandi has been absolutely same in all the innings. He scored 100 Maya. First 15 runs, he takes 20 deliveries. After that, he accelerates and he never looks back. 75% of his runs have come in boundaries. 75, which also means he's playing a lot of dot deliveries. It's a high-risk game, but he's pulling it off.
He's pulling it off, and I think what is also helping Rajasthan Royals is not just Joss Buttler. Of course, he's been phenomenal and the orange cap holder. But then he's got Sanju Samson, who has been doing this consistently as well. If you see Sanju Samson's runs in the tournament as well, 200 plus for them. There's Devdutt Padikkal, who's also looking good, who's been getting the starts, hasn't got a really big score.
Correct.
I get that, but then when Joss Buttler is batting like that, he can take you over the line. But it's not just them, it's their bowling as well. Yuzvendra Chahal in a tough situation to turn the match around, taking 3 wickets in an over, or for that matter, Prasidh Krishna, who's been doing it consistently. And then there is Trent Boult. Last couple of matches hasn't really bowled as well, but then he's Trent Boult. It's, I won't be surprised he gets 3 wickets today.
Absolutely. They've covered the bases.
One spell.
They covered their bases, very well in the bowling department. Boult is a great new ball bowler. So is Prasidh Krishna. Chahal is the leading wicket taker in the middle overs. Ashwin has the, one of the best economy rates in the middle overs. And so they've covered, for every phase of play, there is a bowler. And there is no reprieve for the opposition batsman. And Shimron Hetmyer, the man we criticize, why is he getting 8.5 CR? Has silenced his critics, all of us, along with, you're right, I mean, maybe along with Dinesh.
He's the highest run scorer between 16 and 20 overs.
Absolutely, in the death overs. And maybe along with Livingstone and Dinesh Karthik, amongst the 3 best finishers in the tournament.
Yeah, and I think the 3rd best strike rate in the tournament, Livingstone above him, and then Dinesh Karthik above him as well. But that's how good Shimron Hetmyer has been, and has been instrumental in Rajasthan's winning those games. But let's now take a look at Royal Challengers Bangalore. Now, Royal Challengers Bangalore, the last match, they would want to forget their last game, 68 all out. Everything that could go wrong with the Royal Challengers went wrong that day. Wake-up call of sorts for this team. They have won matches, I mean, they're not that desperate straight away. Having said that, there is still, when it comes to the batting, top order not firing is a problem. You cannot expect Shahbaz Ahmed and Dinesh Karthik to bail you out every time. Faf du Plessis, a couple of very good knocks, great to watch, but Glenn Maxwell hasn't fired. Virat Kohli, the question of when Virat Kohli will fire, the question also, Nikhil, about should Virat Kohli finally open? You've been saying it forever, that maybe that's the last throw of dice. Just get him to open with Faf du Plessis. Anuj Rawat hasn't scored runs, 166, I think. That's one 50-plus score for him. And that's why we're saying maybe they'll go in with Rajat Patidar. But top order, it's a huge problem, and they would want to correct it.
They have to, because Dinesh Karthik and Shahbaz Ahmed cannot rescue them. I mean, they cannot produce the kind of innings they're producing. It's not possible. It is not possible. It is not probable also. So, Faf du Plessis, Virat Kohli, and the other batsman at the top, Glenn Maxwell, 2 out of these 3 have to, fire in almost every game, because otherwise RCB is going to lose a string of matches. They cannot sustain on the formula they have till now. They've been lucky they are where they are because of Dinesh Karthik and Shahbaz Ahmed, but it is high time. I mean, Virat Kohli needs to do something drastic. If he comes at number 3, I think he's going to fail. He has to open or go. I mean, he can't go further down the order. So he has to open. There is no other position for him. But I don't think that is happening, because what we are hearing is that Rajat Patidar might open. So, I don't know what the think tank is thinking. I don't know why they are not going into a tried and tested formula. Get him in the power play, let him take some risk. But, otherwise it will not happen for Virat Kohli. Faf and Maxwell are under pressure. They have to score runs. Otherwise RCB will be in trouble. Those 68 all-out type of performances may be repeated.
That's right. And that was a performance that, given the kind of batting lineup that they have, 68 all-out. And we've seen this happen in the tournament, especially with Royal Challengers Bangalore. Specifically, these batting collapses, we've seen these in the past, but Virat Kohli's form is so important right now, not just for RCB, but for the Indian team, given that we are just a few months away from the T20 World Cup that'll be played in Australia. But now let's take a look at our Fantasy 11. Now, all of you who play this Fantasy 11 on any of the apps, just please exercise caution. There are risks involved. So, just do it at your risk, but do it responsibly. Okay, now let's take a look at the Fantasy 11, and we've got to start with the captain. Who else? In this IPL, when Jos Buttler is playing, if anyone decides to not take him as a captain, then I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, what should we say? I mean, again, he scored 491 runs, 300s. The all-time 100 records of Chris Gayle is under threat. Kohli's 2016 record is under threat. Jos Buttler is just seeing them, and Another interesting thing about when he's gone on to score 100 is the number of runs he's got between wide long on and wide long off, which means he's played down the ground, which is as it is very productive, but also the dimensions of these ground he's playing in. Brabant and Wankhede, where he's got most of his runs, the straight boundaries are short, also at DY Patil. So he's maximizing that. A lot of his runs have come in the V, which is also intelligent batting by Jos Buttler.
Also, Jos Buttler seems to like this stadium. He's got an average of 51, strike rate of 151.96 here. So 155 runs and 5 T20 games here. Likes this stadium, is in red hot, super spicy red hot form. Jos Buttler, the captain. Okay, then we move on to the captain of Royal Challengers Bangalore, Faf du Plessis. He has to be in the side. He hasn't been as consistent as he would have liked, but when he's got going, he has bailed the team out of trouble. And I mean, you're right about Faf du Plessis not being the same Faf du Plessis who was playing for the last two seasons for CSK. But having said that, I mean, given that their top order has struggled, he's at least produced some eye-catching innings.
Yeah, I mean, 255 runs at a 250s. Just what I was talking about, the strike rate is not in the 140s this year, it's 130, which is slightly low for a batsman of, the caliber of Faf du Plessis. But maybe he also knows that Virat Kohli is not in form. He's trying to play more of an anchor than aggressor. We may see, I think we are yet to see the best of Faf du Plessis in the tournament.
Okay, then we move on to the third player on that, Devdutt Padikkal again. Throughout this tournament, got a 20-plus score. Yeah. Hasn't got a really big score, has looked good when he gets going, but you're waiting for a big score from Devdutt Padikkal. And given how well he batted last season.
Absolutely. He's got 150 in the tournament, but given what he produced last season, I think Padikkal also now needs to perform at the top of the order. Otherwise, if he wants to be in the reckoning for India in the future, he has to be more consistent. He cannot perform in one season and go cold in the other. So a lot is expected of Padikkal.
Okay, the next up is Sanju. Samson, like we said, has been doing the job. To see, I know that when Jos Buttler and in the form that he is in, you will get overshadowed by Jos Buttler. But Sanju Samson has been among the runs, has been scoring well, and so yeah, he has to be in that
201 runs, 201 runs, 150. That is my only sort of concern. The 150 in 7 innings. Strike rate is still right up there, which is the positive for RR. Strike rate is 170 plus. So he's yet to play that magical Sanju Samson knock, which we are very accustomed to, especially in the first half of every tournament he does that. That's yet to come, but then RR, hey, they're in the top 4 already. So if he produces that in the business end of the tournament, good for RR.
Also, in the last 4 games at this venue, he scored a 100-plus score and a 50-plus score.
Oh, good. So
just for the stats. Okay, then we move on to the next player, and that has to be Glenn Maxwell. Now, started well as soon as he came in. From there on, hasn't really got runs, but he's Glenn Maxwell. I mean, tonight is the night. I'm convinced. Today, Glenn Maxwell is going to score.
Yeah, I mean, it's high time because 124 runs only in 5 innings. The strike rate is still right up there with 150, which came earlier in the tournament. But he needs to. If you're saying today is the night, I think also it's high time because with Virat Kohli not performing, he is the only left in the middle order. So Glenn Maxwell, I think he will perform. He is not out of form. It's just that he hasn't got those big runs. But I think tonight is the night.
Then we talk about the man, the machine, the man who's been finishing matches for Royal Challengers Bangalore, Dinesh Karthik. How good has he been? Just doing it consistently, doing it under pressure. He's spoken about it himself, Nikhil, that there is a method to his madness. Like he just doesn't go out and bat like that. He has trained for this for hours before, putting himself in these situations where he has to hit at a strike rate of 200 plus and then going out and batting. It's incredible to watch. And every time I see him bat, the only thing I think of is the only way you can silence your critics is by just scoring runs by batting. And that's what he's done, because even when he was bought by RCB, everybody made fun of him, ridiculed RCB for taking that decision. But look at how he's proved everybody wrong. Fantastic.
Absolutely. He always had the talent as a finisher. He's done it for India in the past. It's just that no one expected him to do it at this stage in his career. But Dinesh Karthik, a strike rate of 230 plus in the death overs, 4 very high impact knocks when RCB's top order had failed, which is very important. It's one thing coming out at 100 for 1 in 15 overs and 12 overs, and one thing coming out when we lost 4 wickets. Virat Kohli is not performing, so Glenn Maxwell hasn't performed, and then Dinesh Karthik has performed in partnership with Shahbaz Ahmed. He's failed only once in the tournament when RCB were all out for 68. Otherwise, he hasn't failed, produced 4 very high impact knocks, great finisher, and definitely in the reckoning for India's squad to Australia.
I just feel that, that especially with the finishers, and I'm going to take the next name is also off a finisher, but especially with the finishers in this format, just every time they go out and play this, and the pressure is on them far more than when you're opening the innings, because you've got to hit at a certain strike rate. You walk in, first ball you have to start hitting, and then to be able to do it consistently.
It's amazing.
I think that's where this whole superhero stature comes with finishers in this tournament, and that's why Dinesh Karthik is being seen as one. And then there is another one who, again, not too many people would have said that he could be that consistent. We'd not seen him being that consistent in the past, but Shimron Hetmyer proving everybody wrong, saying, hey, you paid me the price, I'm going to show you I'm completely worth it.
Absolutely. 4 high impact knocks, match winning knocks for RR. Strike rate in the death is even higher than Karthik's, touching 250. Shimron Hetmyer, he has limited strokes. He doesn't have as many strokes as someone like a Pooran from his own nation, but he just maximizes what his strengths, and which is the great quality of Shimron Hetmyer. That area between long on and mid wicket is his favorite area, and match after match he just whacks it over mid wicket, cow corner. That shot which we're seeing on the screen right now, he just goes on the leg side match after match. Again, that shot, see, that is his favorite area, and he is he's won 4 matches for RR in the role of a finisher, and absolutely when no one expected him to, we had written him off. He's proven all of us wrong.
And among the West Indians as well, now you just have Andre Russell and him doing well as batsmen, because everybody thought of Rodman Powell. Pollard's failed. Odin Smith has been made to sit out after inconsistent performances.
I don't know where Shepherd is.
Mario Shepherd is nowhere in the scene. But now let's talk about the bowling in this fantasy 11. Has to be the first name on that list is Yuzvendra Chahal. And just the absolute turnaround we've seen from Yuzvendra Chahal with this side. And I can see that contest with Yuzvendra Chahal against Dinesh Karthik, given that Dinesh Karthik struggles against leg spinners. I mean, he just has got the ball on a string. He knows exactly what to do with it. And that over in which he took 3 wickets, the hat-trick, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, 18 wickets at the halfway stage, Meha, at a strike rate of under 10, economy 7.28. We are all talking about Joss Buttler breaking Virat Kohli's record. There is another record which is, I think, even more likely to be broken, is this man surpassing Dwayne Bravo and Harshal Patel's record of the highest wickets in the season, which is 32. Wow. So I think that's very much on the cards. I think it's more likely than Buttler breaking Kohli. So Yuzvendra Chahal has been brilliant. I mean, we've spoken about this at length. Since the UAE leg last year, when he was the highest wicket taker, he has been exceptional. He's been very good for India. He went back to domestic. He took heaps of wickets in the Vijay Hazare, Saeed Mushtaq, and he's just continued from there. So, he is back, and also Kuldeep is back. And I have no doubt that they would be leading India's bowling in the World T20.
Okay, then let's move on to the next player. It is Josh Hazlewood. I think 7 wickets, 8 wickets in 4 outings, strike rate of 11. The death over specialist, really. He's fantastic.
Absolutely. And Josh Hazlewood, again, a bowler who everyone said is a great test bowler. Very much like Glenn McGrath, line and length, can land the ball in the same area. It may not be a virtue for T20 cricket. He's too predictable. But he's proven everyone wrong, because the basics in the sport work across all formats. And, Josh Hazlewood does exactly that. Line and length, not much variation. But when you have that, he's a class bowler. When you have class and pedigree, the basics work. And Josh Hazlewood has just shown that. 8 wickets in 4 matches, phenomenal in the death, very good economy rate. He's been a revelation. I did not expect Josh Hazlewood to do so well in the IPL.
Okay, then the next player is Prasidh Krishna. Now, again, with Prasidh Krishna, Nikhil, consistency, economical, hasn't, 8 wickets in 7 games, economy of 8.14.
Yeah.
A lot of work that has gone into his bowling. And with Josh Hazelwood, I mean, you see with Prasidh Krishna as well, Rajasthan Royals needed someone along with Trent Bolt. We've seen what happened with Mumbai Indians. With the moment Trent Bolt left, you have a Jasprit Bumrah, but he's become toothless because there's no pressure from the other end. There are no other bowlers in that side. In Rajasthan Royals, you see that relentlessness coming through with Trent Bolt and Prasidh Krishna bowling together.
Absolutely. Interestingly, for Prasidh Krishna, Virat Kohli had recognized his talent a couple of years back, and he stated this, when he was not playing for RCB, but he said this, this boy is special because of his pace, ability to extract pace and bounce on placid wickets. Not helpful wickets, but placid wickets. And he's shown exactly that. Even before the IPL, he was the player of the series against the West Indies, and now, his USP is, again, because of his height, to get that extra bounce and pace, 140, 145 consistently, troubling the batsman also with very good line and length. And, usually Indian bowlers, bowl a little full and then extract swing or seam, but he bowls short of length, the length which Australian and South African bowlers excel in. And therefore, I think he could be one of our match winners in Australia, where that length is the length to bowl.
Okay, then the last player on that list is Harshal Patel. Harshal Purple Patel, not purple anymore, but yet taking the wickets. Slightly expensive, Nikhil.
Yes, slightly expensive.
But among the wickets, and had to put him there.
He's bowled very well. He's got the wickets. He has the variations. Some of his spells in the death overs have been absolutely exceptional. But one stat which stood out for me was he's also bowled a lot in the middle overs, and his middle overs economy rate of less than 5.5 meha is the best for a fast bowler in this tournament. Second best overall, only after Sunil Narine.
This is one problem. That's a good start, but there's one problem here. I would have loved to put Vanindu Hasaranga somewhere. I don't know where, because we already have 4 foreign players. We go 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can put 5 foreign players in fantasy.
We already have 5 foreign players. There you see Faf du Plessis, Joss Buttler. There is Glenn Maxwell, Shimron Hetmeyer, and Hazelwood.
We can only drop. We can't drop.
So either you drop du Plessis or Maxwell, and get Vanindu Hasaranga, because I feel like he is been exceptional.
That's true.
For Royal Challengers Bangalore. But you can do that. If you think that Vanindu Hasaranga should be in your Fantasy 11, you can do that. But that's the Fantasy 11 for us now. Like I told you before we started this, exercise caution. It's important. There are risks involved while you play these Fantasy 11 apps when you play these games. Okay. Time for us to say goodbye, but News 9 Sports is what you need to subscribe if you want to get the latest from the world of sports. So please do that. We've been saying it non-stop every day for you to subscribe. In case you missed it, News 9 Sports is where you need to be. That's it from Nikhil and me. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Also join us at 6:30. That's when we'll go live on TV9 Bharatvarsh और इसी match पर चर्चा करेंगे. So come then, and then 7 o'clock we'll build up. Toss would have happened, so then we'll talk about who the playing 11 for both teams are, also what your fantasy 11 can be. Lots to discuss, so come right back at 6:30 if you're interested in watching us in Hindi on TV9 Bharatvarsh. So that's it then on this special. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.